Sorry. How's everybody doing? Welcome to YouTuber News. This is Content Manifest. Great to be back with you on YouTuber News, live from London. If you're new here for the very first time, welcome. Welcome to YouTuber News. Don't worry, we will be digging into all the Colleen Ballinger stuff in due time. But before that, I just want to say a big welcome to everybody in the chat. We've got a huge number of people here. It's not yet caught up with real life, but I imagine people will be freaking out, losing their sweet minds over my beautiful Democracy Manifest shirt, which I have to say was the one good bit of targeted advertisement. Why am I out of breath? I ran 2 feet from over there for a gag, and I'm out of breath. There we go. White shirt with a curveball, S-tier shirt. This is what we want. A little bird told me that there was some sort of ranking of my shirts in the Discord, and I hope that this, not that I would ever check my own Discord, that would be so arrogant of me, but I hope this makes it to the top tier, to the S tier, which stands, of course, for super. We are going to be doing some real-life, hard-hitting journalism today, as we always do on this show, covering the most serious thing in the world, which is, of course, ukulele-based content. We're going to be doing that entirely for the news portion of the show. It's just going to be all Colleen, because it is probably the most bizarre YouTube video ever uploaded. And then in the second half of the show, we'll be doing a live segment, interactive with you lovely people. You know the drill. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So without much further ado, and with democracy firmly manifest, and with our Chinese meals nicely succulent, why don't we roll into the first bit. Globe me. And then, I guess we're doing the thing. Colleen Ballinger did a ukulele apology video, and that is going to be basically the whole thing today. All this plus 3 people have been injured after a derailment of the toxic gossip train, but thankfully no one was seriously hurt. On this week's edition of YouTuber News, hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, and brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that dares to ask, what if a website was great? Roll me up. Oh, it's lovely to be back with you wonderful people. We've got a decent chunk of people here. We've got people I assume who've come from TikTok, from Twitter, from all over, or perhaps you're watching this in the future after we've been live. Thank you for joining us. We tend to go live almost every week. And if you're watching it in the future, it's great because you can skip through all the jokes and get to the meat of the show. Just kidding, it's all good stuff. People are happy about the globe. Welcome to the camp friends. Hello Liam, hello James, hello Sarah. Everyone is having a grand old time. All aboard the toxic gossip train, woo woo. And that is what we're here to talk about today. Let's just get into it, because this is crazy. Colleen Ballinger, no. A globe was needed.
Remember the thing.
The what thing? Oh yeah, I'll explain the thing. So, the thing that was my idea. So, today, this story is so long and so in-depth that we've come up with this lovely table of contents, and I did the correct hand that time, which I'm very proud of myself for. So we've got the context behind the story, we've got the actual ukulele video, the responses from the people who've made the accusations against Colleen, responses from Becky, who was the girl who was pulled on stage, and of course the social reactions, which have been very funny. So you can use this as a little guide to tell where we are in the grand tale, and also to warn you that nothing's going to be missed out. So without much further ado, let's dig into it. Globe me, again, I guess. Colleen Ballinger did a ukulele apology video. That wasn't really an apology video, and I've watched it, so you don't have to. I'm going to be doing a deep dive on everything she says, and more importantly, does not say in the video, and catching you up on how we got here in the first place. So, but in a nutshell, if you've heard nothing about this story somehow, in a nutshell, Colleen Ballinger, very successful YouTuber, and very funny comedian, has been accused of some very heavy things involving inappropriate behaviour around minors, both in group chats and on stage. And Colleen has decided to respond to all of this with a 10-minute song called All Aboard the Toxic Gossip Train, which she does on a ukulele along with her best theatre kid act. And it is one of the most jaw-dropping things I've ever seen in my life. When it uploaded last night at the time of recording, I was like, surely not. When she gets the uke out and starts, I was like, surely not. And then it just keeps going. It is astoundingly poorly thought out. It is shocking. Because it's a very serious story, and I'm going to run you through how it all went down. So if you'll give me a second. There once... No, obviously not. That would be hideously inappropriate. How do we get here? Let's do the context first. Move that little arrow back. We're not on the video yet. Get up there. There we go. Lovely. How do we get here? So it all started with a person named Adam McIntyre, who was a huge fan of Colleen's, who accused her of a number of things, including sending him lingerie in the mail when he was a minor, which she later admitted to, as well as sending him and other young people inappropriate messages in group chats that she was in for some godforsaken reason. For some reason, she was in WhatsApp group chats with really young fans. I don't know why you would do that. Really odd behavior. And this all kind of came out back in 2020, and she apologized for some of it. But then there were a lot of other people who were also in these chats who came out and started sort of discrediting Adam, discrediting the claims. And Adam at the time insisted that Colleen had been behind the scenes kind of organizing this character assassination of Adam, which was not really believed at the time. But then this year, so this is the reason why all of this has blown up again in the year of our Lord 2023, it's because other people who were in these group chats came forward and vindicated Adam and said that yes, Colleen apparently was pulling the strings and was pushing them to discredit him and was inappropriate in their chats and so on and so forth. And this has led people more broadly to re-examine her behavior at her live shows where people say she was inappropriate. The word inappropriate is going to appear a lot today because it's not libelous and it does cover things, including one girl called Becky who was brought up on stage. There's a video of it, and she was made to get in a very compromising position with her legs in the air, and then like they played a fart noise as if she'd farted, and she said it was just like a very sort of traumatic, upsetting experience for her. And then it's sort of, you know, in typical internet fashion, things then spiraled out of control a little bit. You know, there are very reasonable sort of accusations, and then there are like sort of very heavy and seemingly sort of false allegations of really, really heavy crimes that people have been very willing to throw at her. You know, people online are very willing to accuse people of very serious crimes. And Colleen could have commented on that. You know, she could have come forward, should have come forward and done a really heartfelt apology where she took accountability, and then she could have also spoken honestly about the nature of sort of online mob culture and the way things can escalate. She could have done that. She did none of those things. Instead, she did arguably a much smarter thing. She went away and wrote a 10-minute long song. And I have to say, I've been covering online news for close to 25 years, and I have never seen anything like this. Jokes aside, this is chef's kiss, one of a kind. I've also never had to write the word ukulele so much in a script. That is a difficult word to spell. But my jaw was on the floor throughout this. And before we start getting into the meat of the video, I want to separate this into two categories, right? First of all, there's the accusations and there's everything this is based on. And that's very heavy, and I don't want to joke about that. And then there's the video itself, which we have to admit is one of the funniest things that's ever happened. So please, when I joke around, I'm making fun of the video, okay? I don't want to make fun of the serious topics, that's separate, but the video is very funny and it's important we joke about it, okay? So, let's go through. Almost every line of this song is very wild. But she starts the video on an absolute banger of a quote saying, "Even though my team has strongly advised me not to say what I want to say, I recently realized that they never said I couldn't sing what I want to say." And that's when we all knew we were in for something really special. When your team is telling you not to speak out, I mean, that might just be a little joke she did, but I think that's probably very true. I imagine if you're her team, you'd be like, for the love of God, please don't do this video. And she was like, it was like in The Simpsons when they do the Planet of the Apes musical, and they were like, he can talk, I can sing. It's like that. I don't think there's a legal loophole for singing personally, but what do I know? Amy Rosa says, I saw a comment that said the worst thing about this is that she had to practice this off camera to herself. This is the thing, there's no way she did this in one take. This is like such a rehearsed, like theater kid video. Like not only is she singing, she's doing like scripted bits in between. It's like in a musical where people talk. They're like, I'm gonna make it in this town. This really is one crazy town. I'm gonna make it. It's like that. She stops every so often to just be like, but what do I know? I'm just a crazy gal. It's just like, my God, there's children involved in this. But sorry, can we scroll up a little bit? That's all right. Oh no, back to where we were before. Oh no, sorry. Okay, we're all good. So, she says, she sings. She sings, in all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. That sounds good. We should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person. This is something I've always tried to do when I make mistakes. It's something that I will continue to try to do. Hey, that sounds pretty good. That's a reasonable thing to say. And it would hit home a lot harder if it wasn't being sung. But what are you going to do? But then she says, what? Oh, you don't care. Oh, okay. I thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your mob mentality. No, your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize their lies and monetize their despise. And look, we've all been to rapzone.com and checked out the amazing rhymes on offer there. But this is very serious. This is not the time to rhyme, I would say. And again, she's like almost approaching something close to an apology, and then she's like, actually, no. There's actually a real like condescending, very annoyed tone in this video all the time. She's like kind of visibly annoyed that she even has to do this. She says, I can already hear the comments on this video. She's gaslighting, manipulating. She's a narcissist, a rat. Now, first of all, not beating the narcissist allegations if you're doing a 10-minute song about yourself. But second of all, let's back off the rat thing, all right? That's mine. I don't start bringing up rats in a comical way, okay? It got personal when you mentioned the rat. That's my turf. You don't see me putting on red lipstick and doing the worst comedy in the world. No, I respect your craft. Look, I don't want to be Miranda sings, it's not for me, okay? It's for many people. You know, a lot of kids enjoy it and I don't want to put them down. It's not for me. But there's a sort of golden time right now where you can say Miranda sings is bad and people won't get mad for you. So I'm just really digging into that. She continues to sort of imitate this imaginary audience saying, I would never make a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of you are perfect. Again, there's something in there, right? There's a kernel of something about the sort of hypocrisy of online discussion where people do hold other people to a much higher standard than they hold themselves, you know what I mean? That being said, I don't think most people would be allegedly creepy towards children, so I don't know if it applies here. But there's something interesting she could have said, and again, it would have hit a lot harder if it was not being sung sarcastically and if it wasn't all involving weird stuff with children. She goes on to say, and this might be the single worst quote in the whole song, I just wanted to say that the only thing I've ever groomed, good start to a sentence, is my 2 Persian cats. I'm not a groomer. Now, listen, in a post-Shane Dawson world, you can't bring grooming and cats and inappropriate sexual behavior, you can't combine them into a sentence. It's not going to create the mental image that perhaps you were looking for. I also love that she specifically shouted out that she has Persian cats because she wants to get that humble brag in there. Also, seriously, groomer is like, that's the enemy's word. We got to stop throwing that word around. That is a word that is almost exclusively used to sort of attack LGBTQ+ people. That's a far right people word that we should not be using ourselves. We play into their game when we do that. You know, if someone is grooming, you can call them out for that, but let's avoid the word groomer at the moment because that's like a Ron DeSantis word at the moment. Unless, of course, you're specifically talking about going to the cat groomers, which is a perfectly fine thing to do. Again, if you're not singing about children. And then, sorry, can we scroll up because this is important. She says, I'm not a predator, even though a lot of you think so, because 5 years ago I made a fart joke. Now this is, and then she very pointedly stops, ukulele playing stops, you know what I mean? She very pointedly stops and just stares into the camera like, oh my God, like, can you believe it? And this is in reference to that girl Becky who was brought on stage and in her own words sort of humiliated. And she kind of stops midway through the video and basically stares as if to say, you would have to be an idiot to think this is offensive, which is very mean to that girl because she gave her real lived experience. And she is she was a really big fan of COLLEEN'S. So it's quite cutting to just sort of dismiss her like that. But, you know, it's a rare misstep in an otherwise perfect song. She then goes on to say, I know you wanted me to say I was in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry. That's a good start. I'm not going to take that route. Ah, so close. I'm not going to take that route of admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout. This actually reminds me of something, which is I got the transcript of this video and I did Control F for the word sorry, and it appears twice in this song, and neither time is it an apology. It's just her going like, oh, well, sorry, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to do that, in a sort of Tim Robinson style fashion. So you can't call this as an apology video. There's no apology here. It's like a fight song. This is her fight song. Why don't we pause for a second and see what the young chat is saying about this. The recorder just discarded on the table is hilarious. Listen, this has been in our boxes for years. I'm not putting my lips on this. Bro, just because she didn't think it was that deep doesn't mean the girl she did it to can't feel uncomfortable. Exactly. Like, that's a pretty cut and dry thing. Like, you know, she can say I wasn't trying to be mean to this person. That's a valid argument to make. But you can't just go like, no, you didn't have a bad time, because she did have a bad time. That's very simple. The whole situation is gross. Imagine apologizing while mocking the children you hurt. People are... shockingly, people are not on her side in this chat. I'm not expecting that. She also says, I wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl Miranda sings, which, you know, it's a bit gross in your video to start talking about an entirely different person. Let Miranda speak for herself. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't involve a second person. I want to talk about Miranda sings. You know, the one, blah, blah, blah. She says she's PG-13. It says that on my website, and it's always been that way. And that's why you won't find my videos on the YouTube Kids app. And I didn't realize it was my responsibility to decide what was appropriate for every kid to see. I've always relied on parents to decide if they're comfortable with their families watching my YouTube videos or coming to my live shows. So again, completely offloading any responsibility. This is to do with people accusing her of being inappropriate at these shows. Yeah, okay, again, I guess it's true. Parents should have some responsibility about what they take their kids to, but you are still putting on the show. You can still choose not to do stuff that makes children uncomfortable on stage. This is, no one's making you do this. It's a weird argument. And with that, basically, sorry, that's all the main stuff in the video, but there's a few little aesthetic things we should touch on. The first is that, like, midway through, she does the thing where she leans forward, pretending like she's going to turn the camera off, and she does this thing which Carwin pointed out that creators always do, which is, if you want to turn off a camera, we've all got cameras or phones or whatever where we filmed a video. You go like this, right? You reach behind it and you just press a button. But YouTubers always do this thing when they're pretending to turn something on or off, where they just reach directly into the lens. They're like, time to turn my camera off. Like that, as if they're just gonna crush the glass in their hands. They're like, I just buy a whole new camera every time. I crush the lens and then I buy a new one. Like that, no one has ever legitimately turned off a camera by doing this. Give me that zoom. No one, you go like this. Look, I'm turning off this camera, I'm going like that. I'm not going like this. Anyway, small thing. She pretends to turn the camera off, and then she does this. She does this face. Oh my God, you've got it! You've got it! Oh my God! She goes, actually, maybe I'll continue with another 5 minutes of heavily scripted song. The funniest part is that she goes and then pretends she's having like second thoughts and that actually she'd like to continue, and then continues with a clearly heavily scripted second half. It's like, are we really supposed to believe that after this you're just winging it? You're just really good at coming up with rhymes on the fly? I want to see a sequel to 8 Mile featuring Colleen. 9 Mile will star Colleen Ballinger. Who does this look at? By the way, I have not introduced the rest of the team today. We've got Carmen, Aidan, Tia, and we've got Lily joining us. I was like, I'm sure her name's Lily, but it was so embarrassing if I somehow got it wrong live on camera. They're all here, the crew is here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Team, who does this look like? Because this, I'm sure there's a meme or something that looks like this. This should be a meme.
It's like that Muppet meme that's like the side eye as well.
Oh yeah. This is a very good. What?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
It looks like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I reckon you're thinking of the Homer Simpson when he does the side eye.
Yeah. It's got front-facing Simpsons energy. You know when people. Yeah, the dog. But you know when people pause The Simpsons when they're front-facing and they look really strange? That, when you're trying to go about your day and you see there's a sale on ukuleles. No one like that, jeez.
Wait, I think Aiden's found it. He
Okay.
found the replica, the inspiration.
It looks like the side-eye dog.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Some say The Simpsons predict the future, but I say
That's it, there we go.
Arthur predicts the future.
There we go. She looks like Lisa Simpson. Oh my God, Aiden, you have, that is amazing. Can we flip DW? Horizontally.
You know what?
There it is.
Oh my gosh, it's really strangely similar.
Okay, so to be for the viewer, this one is this one's Colleen, this one's Arthur from the film Arthur, and they're both looking. Man, I can't stand Colleen and DW. They're standing right behind me, aren't they? I have to do that every week. It's the law. Everyone's saying "don't worry" in the chat. I don't know why. Why is everyone telling me not to worry?
W.
Yeah, they're all saying "don't worry." I don't know what that means. She's so airbrushed. Everyone's saying she looks quite airbrushed. Someone made a good point here. Let me find it. About how isn't she currently on tour? She is, I believe, currently still on tour every night. This is a very bizarre video to release mid-tour. Also, I would bet you every recorder I own, I would bet you a significant amount of money she is going to perform this song live on one of these tour dates. She's going to be like, ladies and gentlemen, the Foo Fighters, they're going to come out and she's going to do this song live. And it's going to be fine. Right, we're going to move down a section. Let's go to the responses from Adam McIntyre and some of the other people. So Adam McIntyre is sort of the one who kicked off this whole thing back in 2020. Adam hopped on Twitch basically as soon as this ukulele video dropped and was just baffled. There was a minute at the beginning of his video where he is like, oh shoot, and you can tell he's like, I think I've been pranked, this can't be the real video. And he double checks to check it's the real video. And it doesn't feel like a bit, it definitely feels like, oh no wait, she wouldn't do this. Oh no, she really has done a ukulele apology video. He says that all he wanted, very early on at the beginning of all this process, was an apology. A private apology and a public apology. But I think probably would have settled for just a quiet, private apology. And like, I think in the world of celebrity PR, cynical as it is, I think that's what any regular celebrity would have done. It's just quietly reached out to him and said, hey, I'm really sorry, do you think we can bury the hatchet or whatever? You know, deal with it that way. And that's stupid. That's what a fool would do. Because that, you know, that makes the problem go away. What you want to do is you want to get your ukulele out and you want to sing for 10 minutes because then it explodes things further. What this really is viral marketing for the upcoming film Oppenheimer. It's about how can we make the biggest possible explosion of bad PR. He calls the song silly, he calls it insulting. He says there's no repercussions for her actions. He says that if she actually believed she was blameless, she would have just made a normal video clearing her name. And that does seem like the obvious move. If someone accused me of like kicking a pigeon and I hadn't done that, I obviously do that, that's my problem. But if I hadn't done that, I would simply dispel that with a simple video going, no, I don't kick pigeons. I wouldn't stage a pigeon-based musical called All in a Flap or A Bloodless Coup. Or can we come up with more pigeon musical-based names? Beak Times. Stuff like that. If I was accused of something I didn't do, I'd probably just be like, hey, I didn't do that. I wouldn't come up with a huge musical number, but maybe she's built different. She says in the song, one of the sort of slightly nefarious, in my opinion, things about the song is that by delivering the information that way, you're able to say things very fast and sort of slip things in. So one of the things she says is, she just says, oh, there's gaps in the story. And because it's in a song and she's saying it fast, she doesn't really have to like back that up with anything. You know, hey, I don't have all the information about this, I might be wrong, but she just goes, there's gaps in the story. And Adam is like, well, from his point of view, there aren't any gaps. He said he showed everything he had, even the stuff he said made him look bad. Again, this is his side of things. I'm not the bearer of objective truth. I'm just the middleman in the fun shirt with the recorder. But he says, I've seen this side of Colleen for many years. The true reality of the kind of person she is above anything else. This is what this video shows you. So all in all, he was just pretty shocked by the video. There was also a response from Becky, the girl who was brought up on stage for the fart joke thing, which kind of minimizes the experience, you know. And Becky says on Twitter, part of the manipulation hate train or whatever, saying that she's part of that, is the biggest slap in the face. I posted what I did on the internet in hopes you would make your shows safer for kids. Instead, you went and made a mockery of everything. You are all these haters, or whatever you are. I guess she's quoting Colleen there. And generally she says, you know, I was a huge fan of yours and it's really cutting to see you in this video sort of make fun of me and dismiss everything. So, you know, not a good reaction from the people involved, but hey, maybe the general public have actually been loving this. Well, I think a tweet that kind of nicely sums up everything is from a games journalist called Gene Park, who I like, who tweeted this morning, this just came up on my feed, he said, quote, "That ukulele apology was absolutely the Streisand effect on me. I would have never heard about this person if they simply did not respond to grooming allegations with a ukulele performance. Did she think this was going to convince everyone? This thought process alone is troubling." So if you don't know the Streisand effect, it's basically when you try not to draw attention to something and then you inadvertently draw lots of attention to it. And I tweeted this morning, it's a bit like Atrioc when he did that weird porn apology video where his wife was crying in the background. If you do an apology video wrong, and hey, maybe this is controversial, but I would say she's done this wrong. If you do it so wrong that members of the general public who don't have poisoned YouTube brain like us, if normal people who have never heard of Miranda Sings become aware of your apology video because it's so bizarre, you have failed the apology video game. That's just my 2 cents. Now, why don't we pop over to my favorite and arguably the only website on the internet, popbuzz.com, where Katie has very nicely collated some of the best memes and social reactions. I was like, what if I did some work for once in my life? And I thought, no, Ben, stay the course. You can always find someone else's work to steal. So,
some good ones from Adam, because he tweeted out some funny things, such as going to the ukulele store.
let me load this up for me, just because the screen is a little bit small. So yeah, Adam had some pretty funny tweets. Okay, yeah, can we get it up on screen?
What, the PopBuzz?
Yeah. So we've got Curtis Connor, another famous creator, who said, "I can't believe this video was actually real. Ha 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 ha. Who the F told her this was a good idea at all? Ha 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 ha, dude." Which I think sums up the response of most people. This person, Nico, said, "You're telling me Colleen Ballinger sat her ass down, pressed record, picked up a ukulele and sang a 10-minute song calling these accusations toxic gossip?" Can we play that clip? Maybe not.
There's no sound.
Okay, well, I think that's a clip of
Saying, what do you mean?
that's a clip of Jennifer Lawrence going, "Colleen, how could you?" How could someone who's made fun of YouTube apology videos willingly post this? It's true, like she's so online, she's so in the YouTube thing and she's making fun of others and then doing this. And then, Kat Tenbarge, can we scroll down to her? Kat's always is a journalist who's always got good takes. Said the Colleen Ballinger non-apology seems to be taking a page from David Dobrik's response to the Vlog Squad investigation in 2021. She posted it to her 3rd channel, which is a good observation. It wasn't even on her main channel, and said, "My team didn't want me to do this. It's fascinating how YouTubers copy each other's bad crisis PR." I mean, a lot of people have been bringing up the interpretive dance apology video, which was that Sienna May? If you don't remember that, Sienna May was accused of something bad, I can't remember what it was, and she decided to do an interpretive dance. And I think for a long time that was the high watermark for baffling apology videos. But Colleen has got the crown now, possibly forever. And then, yeah, I mean, the rest of the memes. Oh, sorry, go down to the one from Hurt Copain. That's the one, yeah. Oh my God, she made another version, and it's high, slowed reverb plus lyrics. And then the one below that actually uses some pictures of Adam, and it just says literally everyone when Colleen Ballinger brought out the ukulele. I mean, if you've not seen Adam's reaction video, it's literally this. It's just him being like, surely not, the whole time. So with that, all in all, we come to the end of talking about Colleen. I would say, job well done. 10 out of 10. I think she's a hero for this. You know, in terms of the serious accusations, very bad. In terms of bafflingly hilarious content, very good. So who's to know if it's good or bad? It is bad.
Someone call him Manuel.
Eliza said, Sienna danced so Colleen could sing. Sarah Jane said, they go together. Play the audio for this and the dance from that. Oh my God. There must be a weird apology video group chat. Well, I can't imagine what Colleen's saying in that chat.
Her notes app must be crazy. I want to know the cut verses. Like, what did she not put in that song?
Sazzy says, it's also the fact it's such a serious topic and she laughs it off and completely disregards how she's affected people with this video. Yeah, I would say like, you know, just conjecture, but it does really seem like she has very little understanding of the gravity of this situation or how badly this could affect her career. You know, the thing that really matters, God forbid her career, but she treated this with a light touch that seemed very detached. I don't know who she has around her, but they are giving her bad advice, or they're giving her great advice and she's completely ignoring it. I can't imagine someone coming up to me and being like, I am gonna go with the ukulele apology video. And me being like, great job, unless they were like my enemy or something. All right, that brings us to the end of Colleen, but don't go anywhere because we're now gonna transition into our live segment. And in the spirit of Colleen's ukulele video, it got me thinking about classic things from YouTube yesteryear, like ukuleles, and so we will be playing a game of cringe or vintage, where I will be giving you some classic YouTube internet things, and you, the audience, will be voting whether this thing is cringe or vintage. We picked them because they rhyme. So can we, do you want me to leave and come back? Are we going to do the fun?
Oh, go get, what's his name? Your mate?
Go get my, oh yeah, I'll go get Vincent Tidge. He's known as Vintage. I'll go find him. Hi everyone, sorry, Vintage couldn't be here, but I'm Charles Ringe, also known as C Ringe. C Ringe because I'm a doctor. And it's great to be here on Cringe or Vintage. Why don't we jump straight in? Basically, we're going to give you a little vote. You can vote in the chat. And first of all, can you zoom out? Can you zoom out, please, Aiden? I've been placed in the cringe box already. I think I should be here with a man who is at least age appropriate to me. Oh, no. There we go. Hold on. I'm going to have to do it from the end of the desk here.
I can just move you over.
Oh, yeah. Oops. Spilled coffee everywhere. That's fine. Okay. I'm still cringe. There we go. Thank you.
No, you're the angel and the devil.
Inside everyone is an angle and a devil. I can be your angle or your devil. Okay, so can we have our first one, please, Maestro?
Yes, you can. So, our very first one to be sentenced to vintage hell. No, vintage heaven, cringe hell. We have, very fittingly,
Yes.
ukulele.
Ukuleles. Once the weapon of choice for creators across the land. I might become a ukulele-headed man. You know, there was barely a time. You couldn't throw a stone at VidCon without breaking someone's ukulele. Now they've fallen away. You know, much like Tyler Oakley or Trilby Hats, they're no longer a big part of the YouTube community. Although Tyler Oakley is now jacked and good at Twitch. So he's kind of laughing. Tyler Oakley is actually the only, like, old school YouTuber who's come out unscathed. Do you know what I mean? Like Shane, Colleen, they're all falling by the wayside. Tyler Oakley remains based for now. Maybe get that ukulele on pre-order, Tyler, because you never know what you're going to do. So, audience, get voting. Okay, Cringe has taken an early lead with 64%. Selma says, as a Dodie stan, I have to respect the ukulele. Yes, guys, remember Dodie? She's the one not cringe person who plays the baby guitar. A clear crintage choice, I'm sorry. Crintage, by the way, great phrase. Crintage. I love crintage, but that's not a category on this show. Just move the green screen. Vintage until her vid. Oh my goodness. Has her video single-handedly killed the ukulele?
Definitely tainted.
The ukulele stock price plummeting currently. I love Dodie with my heart, but this has taken the biscuit. I've got an acoustic ukulele here. I really don't want to put my mouth on this. It'd be funny to play it, but yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm putting it in cringe. I'm calling it.
Ukulele's officially cringe.
Probably the most impactful thing that's come out of COLLEEN'S video is destroying the ukulele. That they burn as well. That's just like kindling a ukulele.
Okay, up next we have a classic,
Okay.
a strong one that I know that you love
Okay.
and you used to do all the time.
Oh, something I love. Sorry, let me just try and guess what it is. Is it world peace, equality? No, it must be fitness, powerlifting. What is it, Aiden?
Raw XD.
Okay, it's RAR XD, sort of that kind of speak. ICANN has epic times. I've painted whiskers on my face, and I'm a fan. This is not Dan Howe slander.
You know,
This is not dander.
Like raw means I love you and dinosaur.
Yeah, yeah.
Whiskers on your face.
Does that actually? I don't speak dinosaur. I didn't know. Rufflecopter, epic cheeseburger. I mean, this one, it would seem on the surface to be cringe, but it's been so long now that it's almost become kind of, dare I say, vintage. It's almost come around again. You know, in the way that everyone was like, oh, no one wants to wear 90s clothes, and now it's like everyone's wearing 90s clothes. Everyone was wearing Democracy Manifest shirts in the 90s. Mina says a combination of both. Well, that's cringe, but we're not doing cringe. I summoned him, didn't I?
You say his name enough.
This is Democracy Manifest.
This is Democracy Manifest.
What is the charge?
A
Eating a meal?
succulent Chinese meal.
A succulent Chinese meal? Okay, oh, it's, I was going to say it's close. It's not at all. It's,
So, what would make something vintage if it has come back and is like cool to do again? Because is this cool?
if I'm going to give you credit for anything, Aiden, and I'm loath to do this, but it's that you are always trying to make these segments make sense. You are always trying to do crazy concepts like having me explain what we're doing, having me define the parameters. You've got this kind of kooky brain that just fixes things up. Yeah, so basically vintage is good and cringe is bad. You know what I mean? Things that are cringe can become vintage because you just lovingly remember them, you know? For me, RAR XD has become vintage. But I think that's because it's still a bit cringe. I love the Aloha Cat says, oh my god, fander, PH fander as in fan slander, which I love that as a concept. Okay, but I'm putting it in cringe, everybody. I hate to say it. It takes me with no pleasure. Am I putting it in cringe? ICANN has cringe. Epic cringe for the lose. Epic derpina. All right, what have we got next, Aiden?
Next up, we have everyone's favorite holiday tradition. Vlogmas.
Vlogmas. This is interesting. This is probably one of the most, like, you know, contemporary, still relevant things. People are still vlogmasing. People are still engaging in the vlogmassy.
You know, somehow I hadn't heard of this before.
How do you know? You don't strike me as a
I've seen
vlogmas
it.
guy.
I mean, I'd seen it, I just didn't know the name for it. I didn't know the specific.
You would watch every single episode of Zoella's videos every year, but you didn't know the name of
I
them.
had the calendar and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever it had in there. Was it tequila? What was it?
It's-
Alcohol calendar or something.
If Zoe Sugg did a tequila calendar, I would love that.
It's like a jewelry and like skincare calendar.
Well, the original Zoella calendar had like paper clips and
Yeah.
pocket lint in it, didn't it? Vintage comfort Zoella core, says Charlotte. Ruby says the shirt is Threadheads. Yes, the shirt is Threadheads. I forgot the name of the place, but there we go. It's a free ad for that company. Leah says we had to study Vlogmas videos in my A-level media class. What? I went to Zoella Academy. Well, that's crazy. Why would you call it Vlogmas and not the 12 Alfie Days of Christmas? Zoella is banging on the door, begging to come in. Zoella is iconic. I mean, we could put Zoella in this because I think Zoella has successfully avoided becoming cringe and is basically vintage now because Zoella is still getting crazy video views. She remains undefeated. Sarah says those were around when I was a little kid. Right, Sarah? Okay, there's no need to make people feel old in the chat. All right, it's going in vintage. We finally have our first vintage.
What does that mean?
I don't know, Aiden. I don't know what it means.
It's like heartwarming cringe.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, that was so weird we did that.
So it's cool to do.
it's an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you would reference it in good taste.
Mithril Book of Mystery says, TikTok people who aren't talking in chat, I'm divorcing you over the Rauer vote. Listen, the silent voters, they are voters nonetheless.
Okay, up next, we got. It's fitting that you're in space because we have a extraterrestrial being.
Oh, I've just noticed I'm in space, yes. I was like, what is he talking about?
A creature of unfathomable power.
Okay.
From another world.
Wow, what build up.
It's flying in right now.
Okay. Oh, Nyan Cat. Can anyone off the top of their head remember the tune? Nice, very good. Copyright strike immediately for that perfect Nyan Cat. I mean, this might predate most of our audience, to be honest with you, but this was an epic Pop-Tart cat for the win.
Yeah, it was an
I wasn't involved.
This is like old school internet.
Yeah. This is like when I first got a phone, bro.
There's a video here called Nyan Cat Original, and it's from 2011.
Yeah, I mean, I was a wee lad when this came out, but I remember when it first dropped, there was a website that just had an infinitely running like Nyan Cat, and it had a timer in the corner. And I left my computer on for about 2 weeks straight just to get like a high score thing on this Nyan Cat website. Because after a certain amount of hours, it like changed and it like became a taco and.
You could have been mining Bitcoin in that time, my friend. When the oceans rise and boil us alive, I'll say Aiden's 2 weeks of Nyan Cat computer work are responsible for this crisis. When you Google Nyan Cat, people also ask, what is the story behind Nyan Cat? And what is Nyan Cat's gender? It's a Pop-Tart cat, but apparently it's a boy, so that's good. Right, it's going in, wow, overwhelmingly it's got into vintage. I was really expecting people to say this was cringe, but people love this cat. Have we talked about Smosh being back? Smosh basically managed to come back exactly between shows, but speaking of vintage things that perhaps could be cringe, but perhaps could be vintage, Smosh is back.
Sorry, where's Nyan Cat going?
It's going in vintage.
Oh, vintage. Okay.
Nyan Cat is slay. People really want Smosh to be a category in this. We could add Smosh.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gone back and forth.
Okay. Oh, we're so loud. All right, up next.
People said the audio is weird.
Yeah, sorry.
One sec.
Audio.
I'm trying to
No,
turn
not
this
the
up.
technical difficulties on the bingo card. No.
Babe, wake up, new audio just dropped. It's very funny.
Is it okay?
New
No,
voice.
that's way too loud.
People are saying I sound like I'm in a well, but that's
Yeah, it's because of the echo. It's okay now. You just want to delay.
sure.
Okay. Next up, we have
What we've got.
story time.
Story time. This is an interesting one because this is an old school thing, but it sort of persists. It kind of went away though, didn't it? Like it was a time when everyone, Tana Mojo and whatever, they were all doing story times. And it's kind of faded away. People are now doing like a Get Ready With Me, or most cool kids these days are doing ukulele apology videos. That's what everyone loves and wants. But story times, are they now cringe or are they vintage?
This also counts for like Draw My Life and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to lump Draw My Life and those kinds of story trends into this. The Lonely Meadow, I finally made it to the live. Welcome, Lonely Meadow. Crew, most important part of the show. It's okay if we hear them and not Ben. That's true, actively true.
Have you done a story time before?
Have I done a story time? Well, story time. I've not done a story time. That's my story time. I'm not that kind of creator. I don't talk about myself on my show. I'm too selfless. I just talk about other people. It's sort of generous in that sense. I talk about myself occasionally and my large adult son Tavid, and that's it. Draw My Life is forever iconic.
Do we have it?
Storytime animators are still vintage. They're carrying the genre. Not a single storytime ever actually happened. That's interesting. Draw My Life is better than Storytime. The podcast was essentially Storytime for the rat. That's true. I mean, I think the thing is people love specific Storytimes and specific Draw My Lives. So it's hard to... Could someone draw this live? That's what I want to know. Could someone draw this live? Let's see what the voting is saying. James Wheeler says, I love YouTuber News. Thank you, James. Thank you for watching.
What's the tweet?
Emma says, here's my vintage list. Making Crime Illegal, Ben Rat 2020, Dan Hellwatch, Criminals with Swords, and Question of the Wee. I distinctly remember a Gabby Hanna story time about a girl dying in her class. That's bizarre, but tracks for Gabby Hanna's kind of stories. All right, I'm putting it in vintage.
Okay, vintage.
Hello, Inklet. Make sure to like the stream. Yes, please like the stream if you've enjoyed it so far today. Really helps us out, helps support the show.
Okay.
Costs you nothing. Yes.
We have some breaking news.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Breaking!
Breaking news. Okay.
An actual news story that we have been asked for you to react to.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we need an immediate reaction.
Okay, I'm live on the
Let me
scene.
cut you back to the news.
Hi everyone, I'm live on the scene at a breaking news story. What's happened, everyone?
Over on Twitter,
Over on Twitter,
someone is getting swole and wants everyone to know about it.
someone's getting swole.
Yeah.
You wait, mate.
Here we have.
Only
Okay.
the coolest person in the world.
I'm really excited to see what this is going to be.
Jump scare!
Is this,
We've got
sorry.
Aw,
Okay, so that's
Beastie.
original Mr. Beast. And this is
This is Jimmy.
it's very upsetting for me to see a picture of Mr. Beast where he is holding his penis. That's, I didn't need that in my life. He certainly has swolled up. He's swole deep. Hey, I don't think he looked that bad before. You know what I mean? Body positivity, you gotta love it, but he is swole now, and I would argue that that is... Aiden? Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast!
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast! Let's get Mr. Beasted up on the screen.
which one?
The Beast one.
Well, he said he's only halfway there, and he wants to get bigger.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show, actually, this is an inspiring message here. It just goes to show that with hard work, dedication, and $100 million, anyone can get swole. Do you think the more buff he gets, the less people will say I look like him? Because in a way, I hope that happens. I'm sick of people commenting on the videos going, Mr. Beast? Jim Chapman? Just once I'd like someone to be like, Brad Pitt? All right, back to the voting. That was a very good breaking story. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why we were specifically asked to do that, but it's just what happens sometimes. Anyway, let's speed through this because we're running out of time.
All right, we're running out of time. Speed
right.
round. What you got for me?
Next up, we have...
Oh yeah, YouTuber makeup lines. This is an interesting one. I mean, you can sort of slot YouTuber merch in general into this. But there was a time when everyone and their fine Persian cat had their own makeup line, and we're probably making Buco Dolores off them. James Charles, Jeffree Star, whatever. And then after a while, I think the market just got entirely saturated because everyone was like, there's only so much money I can spend on palettes in a month. Also, how many palettes do you need? How long does it take to get through a palette? Aiden, how long does it take you to get through a palette?
I don't know, it depends. Like 2 weeks?
Lily, you're a young person. You're like a year or two younger than me. Have you ever purchased a YouTuber makeup item or indeed any kind of influencer merchandise?
Yeah, Zoella.
Oh, okay. What did you buy from Zoella?
I bought her makeup bags.
You did?
She was popping off in Superdrug.
Nice.
Yeah. Loved her.
Were they bags that had makeup in them or were they just bags?
They were just bags.
So you didn't buy any of the actual makeup, but you got the bags.
No, got the bags.
What drew you to the bags?
The iconic quotes of her that were on them.
Hi, I'm Zoella.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
I love that. Has anyone else ever bought any YouTube merch?
I also bought Zoella merch.
Nice!
When I was younger, I used to kill those bath bombs, but then they started giving me rashes. So.
Not the best advert for Zoella bath bombs.
We're never going to get sponsored now.
We were this close to a Zoella sponsorship. She loves this show. That's fascinating. I didn't realise we had Zoella Corner over here. That's fantastic.
Okay, I guess we're calling it. I'm
All right.
surprised at this. Because people still do this, right? YouTubers, actually, do they?
No, they don't. That's the thing. I think it's dropped off.
Because it's
The
become
only
cringe,
people
yeah.
are like James Charles.
James Charles might have
He's the
like
pioneer.
he did the ukulele to makeup.
Did he?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right, we're putting it in. It's going in cringe.
it is going in
Damn,
cringe.
Ian Stevens.
I'm sorry for Miss Zoella. She got her bag.
I know everyone's been asking about it, and our makeup palette is this close to being done. I swear to God, we just need to get a little bit more hair into it, and then it'll be ready to go.
Okay, up next.
Can I just say, Elizabeth used to say, I used to use one of Zoella's makeup bags, the square ones, as a pencil case, and was slandered by my fellow Year 7s. Did you experience slander, Lily? Were you attacked for your freedom of choice?
Wouldn't say attack.
Were you held as some sort of hero?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what we want to hear.
Oh yeah, I was
That's what
cutting
we
up
wanna
hear.
with those bath bombs.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, this is
Cool.
brave and cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, what we got next? Let's do 2 more.
This is something I think you can relate to a lot.
Okay. Let
Yes,
me.
you-
Oh, are we going to get the big strong picture up again? Is that what that is?
Mr. Beast and Mini Beast.
No.
Mini.
We've got
Moustaches.
Yeah.
Now-
Something that you were a pioneer.
I did invent the moustache, it's true. I'm looking a bit more just regular bearded today. Now, to be clear, we're not talking about the concept of moustaches, which are, of course, heroic and brave to have. We're talking about the weird.
Can you put your hands up?
Silent.
Which one is it?
Yeah, that one.
That's crazy.
What the hell?
My nose is so long. There we go.
Gross.
Screenshot.
Screenshot all you want. We're talking about the weird obsession with moustaches that was sort of YouTube adjacent, I guess, in like 2012 or whatever, when everyone would get them tattooed on their finger or have them on mugs or whatever. I am going to wade in, put a finger on the scale in a rare moment of partiality, and say that I think they're cringe, even though I'm a moustacheman myself. I think they appropriate our culture, and I think they're disgusting.
Someone said you look like a meme.
like a Nintendo Mii.
So real moustaches, vintage.
Yeah, real
Fake
moustaches. Yeah,
cringe.
fake moustaches. I'm giving them cringe. They're going straight in the cringe bin. Eliza says, I had a moustache earring.
Seems like most people are agreeing as well. I'm just going to put it in cringe.
Tegan says, I had a moustache backpack. There's so many moustache products.
Okay. If we can speed through the last two.
Hold on. Lily, did you ever have any moustache products?
No.
I think you're too young. You missed that trend, and you're better for it. All right, what's our last one?
Can we do last two?
Okay, last two.
Okay.
It's relatively equal so far. Okay,
We've got
yeah.
song parodies. Not specifically, but we have Minecraft song parodies.
Yeah.
But this can also be for any parody of any song. So it doesn't have to be Minecraft, but those are.
It's funny how things change. Back in the day, song parodies ruled YouTube. If you could get someone to put on a Lady Gaga wig and dance in front of a green screen, people were like, you're Steven Spielberg for this. This is incredible. If you could rewrite the lyrics to Dynamite and make it about Minecraft Dynamite, people were like, can we give you $100 million? Who's that guy, Captain Sparkles or whatever?
Yeah.
Is he the one who became like
He's the one that
crazy
did,
rich? He's so rich now
That
because
was Dark Horse, right?
yeah, because he did like Minecraft songs. That was the original Bitcoin. If you got on it early enough, it was. I think people are putting it in vintage. I feel like everyone's voting very correctly today. Because if someone came out now and did a Minecraft version of like, I don't know, like an Ice Spice song, or Taylor Swift's All Too Well 10-minute version, or Colleen Ballinger's Toxic Hate Train 10-minute version, Song of the Summer, Banger of the Year, Colleen's version. Don't buy Scooter Braun's version of Colleen's song. You want to get the one that gets the money straight to her. That would be epic. I would love someone to do a Minecraft parody now because it would just be so bizarre. All right, it's vintage. We're putting it in vintage.
Going into vintage and going on to the last.
Mr. Vintage. Someone said Weird Al is my king. Weird Al is in his own category.
We're actually tied.
Oh my god, are we
So
perfectly
between
tied?
Perfect cringe and vintage.
That
thing.
is so aesthetically pleasing.
So this one.
Perhaps this will be the first crintage one. The first one that can bridge the gap between these worlds.
And speaking of epic things,
Mm.
we have the original epic thing. Epic lol.
Christianity?
Almost.
Almost. The way people spoke about it back in the day.
We've got bacon.
Epic bacon for the win, bro. This is more epic than bacon. Name one thing more epic than bacon. You freaking can't, bro. Let's see what the chat's saying about epic bacon. Remember Matty B? Matty B Raps did not do parodies. Matty B was an artist. He is an artist. Epic mealtime. I mean, that's a real throwback. Epic mealtime.
I mean, we had a renaissance of it with the #1 Victory Royale. That came
Oh
back.
yeah.
Everyone loved it, and if it happens again, everyone will love it again.
I guess that was a parody song.
Uh-huh.
#1 victory royale.
That was so lit. I miss that kid.
Tia, I'm going to do something unprecedented.
Okay.
I'd like you to add a third category.
Oh.
And I'd like it to be crintage.
Okay.
I know it goes
2
against
minutes, boss.
what the elders say we should do. As a
Okay.
veggie, I can't support the bacon. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah.
But it's about more than just the meat. It's about what it represents. It's being frickin' awesome, dude.
So, what are the pros and cons of epic bacon for the
All right.
win?
Pros. Frickin' epic. Cons. It doesn't have very many cons. It has no cons. That's the con. There's nothing bad you can say about it. I'm trying to get my brain in gear to the way people used to speak. Be like, oh, sorry, I'm actually sitting down with my wife-erino and a cold beer. This is more epic than bacon. It's like that, right? Crintage in purgatory. Sarah says, Ben, aren't you the elder? No, Sarah, I'm someone who could burn you from this chat, okay? Rein your neck in, yeah? Is this the last one?
Yes.
This is the last one, so I'm just
history.
saying it would be somewhat poetic if we had a crintage to round things out.
I remember bacon being everywhere. Like they had bacon lip balm, bacon perfume.
Yeah.
Everything was bacon scented, bacon flavored.
Yeah, bacon. It was the moustache of its day.
Yeah. Bacon
You could wear it as a
moustaches.
moustache. Yeah.
They even started making, like, they made bacon a real product that you could buy in the. You could find it in supermarkets for a while. Like they made the internet thing into a real meat. Did you guys ever have any bacon-based products, adventures?
I used to eat bacon.
Not anymore.
I had a classic bacon pencil case that was like a strip of bacon pencil case.
Wasn't made of bacon.
No, I would have eaten it.
That'd be so nice to have a
With
little,
pencils.
just chewing on a little bacon
I think
pencil
bacon's
case.
overrated.
Whoa! Carwin. Ben is just a 16-year-old newsreader. Damn straight. I can't believe we've slandered Raw XD by not putting it in crintage. Yeah, that's where it belongs. Well, guys, for the first time in history, we have a crintage option. I am just so happy that we were all here to see this, that all our new viewers from TikTok, that Lily, that everyone was here to see this historic moment when crintage, I can't remember who in the chat coined the phrase, but I love it. The very first crintage thing, a bridge between our worlds. Perhaps now humans and Na'vi can learn to come together. Please, could you place it exactly between the two boxes, Aiden? With the feather touch of a surgeon. And if everyone could if everyone could sing the theme from Halo 2. And there we have it. Look at that. Look how satisfying that is, what we've created.
You gotta rate Ben now.
I know I'm perfectly crintage too. Look, I have to. These are the god and devil of these universes. This is the Last Supper of no. There we go. Well, thank you so much for everyone for voting. Thank you for tuning in today. Truly a tale of two halves, this show. One quite serious, one a little goofy. But isn't that, in the end of the day, what YouTuber News is all about? We've got one more live stream next week, and then that will be our last live stream for a little while. What are you pointing at? We're doing a transition.
Just getting you out.
Get me out of there.
We're going serious. Yes, next week. Some might say it makes no sense to stop doing the live streams next week when this was by far our most successful live stream ever, but hey, what are you going to do? We've got our very last live stream next week for a little while, and then we'll be switching to quick bites only for a few weeks as we prepare a very exciting change in the YouTuber News universe. Don't worry, it's all positive, it's all good, it's coming very soon. I think you're all going to like it very much. We're all very excited about it. But yeah, we've got some cool stuff on the horizon, but it does require a bit of extra prep. So we'll be pausing the live streams very briefly, and then, you know, we're going to have the new thing, and that's going to be very cool. Let's just say, if you thought moustaches were pretty cool and bacon was pretty cool by themselves, you're going to love my new show, where I eat bacon every week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit like on the live stream if you've enjoyed it. Don't forget you can catch us on TikTok as well, at YouTuber News Talk. Make sure to shake hands with everybody else in the live stream before you leave, like a football match. Like, good game, good game, good game. You know, do one of those. I want to thank everybody in the room, Colin, Aiden, Lily, and Tia. Thank you for your contributions. Most of all, I want to thank Epic Bacon. This has been YouTuber News. Goodbye. And can we get one more shot of Mr. Beast's nude form? There we go. And if we could all just a quick salute.
Mr. Beast!
There we go.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.